On today's episode, we're going to be talking about what it takes to go from a part-time trader to a full-time trader. Something that I personally just made the jump earlier in 2025. March 2025 was when I actually quit my corporate day job to become a full-time professional investor and full-time YouTuber. So, we're going to watch this video together. The real steps to quit your 9 to 5 job and trade full-time, so you'll know what steps to take, and we'll see if I took the same steps or if I'm totally off base here.
So you want to quit your job and start trading full time, but if you don't do it right, you'll be broke and begging for your job back in 6 months. Hi, I'm Lance Brightstein. I've made over $100 million in trading profits and mentored hundreds of 6, 7, and 8-figure P&L per year traders. Before you quit your day job, here's a framework you need from skill set to mindset to savings to runway to make it happen. Much like analyzing a trade, we can think of this decision in terms of expected value. Not just the expected value financially, but also emotionally. It's worth doing the self-reflecting on these variables. What is your current salary and future earnings potential? Also known as your opportunity cost versus your earnings potential as a trader. What is your job safety like versus your odds of success as a trader? What is the cost of failure? How reversible is the decision? Can you immediately get your old job back? And most of all, how unhappy are you at your current job versus how passionately do you want to trade?
I think these are great questions, right? Let me see if I can pause it better. Hang on.
Most of all, how unhappy are you at your current
There we go. Okay. So I think it's really important to set the salary expectations, right? But when it comes to trading, we as traders don't get to determine when we get paid. I mean, literally, I will go for several months at a time without making any trades. And then the span of a handful of days, my account could be up like it was in May. I put on 2 puts earlier on in 2025. I took them off. I don't remember. I think I like came out a small loss between the two of them. But then I went all of 2025 until May with no trades. I put on a handful of trades, and by that was on a Friday. I put the trades on. By the next Tuesday, my account was up like 36%. Right? I didn't get to choose how much I got paid. Like I didn't get to choose how much I got paid, and I didn't get to choose how frequently I got paid, which is a very different context to going to a job and getting your paycheck every 2 weeks, right? That's a big difference, right? Um I think what made the difference for me was having the money in the bank. Like, you know what? If I need to withdraw some, I can, right? Having multiple years of money in the bank so that you can look at your wife in the face and be like, you know what? We're okay. We still have, X number of years in the bank. I'm not stressing. I don't want you to stress. And, worst case scenario, let's say I've got 2 years worth of money in the bank. Maybe it'll take me 2 years to find a new job if everything goes wrong, but I'm not going to let that go wrong, right? I'm going to protect the family. But then again, a lot of people want to jump right into trading and quit their day job without knowing at all anything about trading. And so you really need to establish a track record. So for me, my track record was 44% compound annual growth rate over the last 4 years. I'm around 40% right now for 2025. 2021 was 172%. 2022, I was down 20%. 2023, I was up 5%. 2024, I was up 92%. So for me, I've established a sufficient enough track record for me. Now, granted, there were some big years and one losing year, but overall compound annual growth rate of 44%, which is what we're trying to measure for consistency here. And so that gave me some confidence as well. And of course, OVTLYR definitely helps with all that. And it's only 82 cents a day. Is there a decision reversible? Can you immediately go back to your job? That's the last thing I want to do, right? But I don't want to go back, right? The real catalyst for me to quit my job, my corporate job. So I did consulting with credit unions. And so I would meet with credit union CEOs, CFOs, all the C-suites. And I would show them where on their balance sheet that they could make more money and have less risk. Sounds familiar, right? So I would do that. I would see 40 to 50 credit unions a quarter. And it was fine, right? I didn't have any issues with that. And I also got to work from home. But then the ones in charge were like, we're going to start having everybody come back on Tuesdays. I was like, I don't want to do that. And my colleagues were like, but Chris, it's one day a week. Don't complain about it, right? It's not that big a deal. And I'm like, 20% of my life, 20% of my work week going back in the office, that's a big deal to me. It may not be to you, but to me, it's a huge deal. And then they were like, and I knew that this Trojan horse was coming. I knew this Trojan horse was coming. Then they said, you know what, not Tuesdays. How about Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? I think that's a good way to go back in the office. And I'm like, oh no, it's not. And so I told my boss, I was like, listen, I'm not coming back. I'm gonna work from home, period. And any day where I have to be in the office, I'll take a sick day. I'll take a vacation day. I'm not coming back in. I'll work from home on vacation days and I'll work from home on sick days, but I'm not coming back in the office. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to let you do that. You're out of here. And I'm like, fine. I made my bed. I'm ready to lie in it. So that's what my story was like. It scary? Yeah, absolutely. But also, it was the best decision I ever made, hands down, full stop. But I didn't do it without having prepared for basically 16 years for that moment.
Job versus how passionately do you want to trade? Let me add examples to some of those considerations I mentioned. If you're currently making $1 million as a doctor, your opportunity cost is far higher than if you were a student. If you're supporting a family, your cost of failure would be far higher than if you're living with your parents. If you're 1 year away from a tenured teaching position or a big pension, the job security and financial security trade-off could be huge. Additionally, if you hate your job, staying might not be the right option regardless of pay. Similarly, if you love your current job, trading might just be best as a hobby, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's also worth gauging how much you have saved up, what your expenses are, and whether you ideally can give yourself a 2+ year run.
Oh, look at that. Kind of what I was saying earlier, right? Giving yourself a 2 year runway. What are your expenses? How much do you have saved up? These are great points here.
Way. That's what we recommended at Trillium when I ran an office. The learning curve is far longer than most think, and if you don't give it a proper chance, it's often a waste of time to even bother. It would be like me quitting my job to spend 6 months trying to make it into the PGA. No matter how much I practice, it'll be nearly impossible to do so in such a time frame. All of those variables together help you assess the expected value of leaving your current job to pursue trading. Nobody can answer those for you but you. What I'd recommend doing though, regardless of which decision you decide, is to journal your decision and most importantly, your rationale. Email it to yourself or write yourself a note. What that does is help you avoid any regret further down the line.
It took 6 seconds after I clicked that. What I did was I wrote my resignation letter months in advance, and I go in and I edit it, and I go in and I'd edit it, and I go in and I'd edit it. The more and more I did it, the more and more reality it came to, and more confident I got. Like, look, this is really going to happen. I can do this. I can do this, right? And then, when it did happen, no big deal. I was ready. I was mentally ready for it at that point.
Whenever you feel regret, you'll be able to see that and know you made an intentional, thought out decision for yourself at that moment in time. No playing Monday morning quarterback. Let's say you decide you want to take the leap. What steps should you take next before you tell your boss to kiss off? Step 1. Understand what quitting your 9 to 5 actually means. You're not just replacing income. You're replacing structure, benefits, and stability. Trading full time is running a performance business.
Oh, that's a real big deal, right? Income structure. My pause button is just delayed, so I'm not going to be able to get it right. Let me see if I can.
Replacing structure, benefits, and stability.
Oh, I got it. Sweet. Income structure, benefits, and stability, right? In my opinion, once you have the money in the bank and you understand how to make more money with that money in the bank, the income part takes care of itself. Structure, that's real, right? You need to develop a lifestyle for trading. And whatever that lifestyle is, I mean, you could literally be the guy who trades from the beach. I mean, you actually could do this. Or you could be like me, like I'm a family man. So in the morning, I take my kids to school. I come and I watch a couple of videos with you guys, do whatever I'm going to do as chief marketing officer for OVTLYR during the day, and make another video in the afternoon, put on some trades. And that's about it for me, right? And that's lifestyle design on purpose, right? The benefits are a big thing, right? I don't have a 401k, right? My retirement is up to me. I don't have company sponsored healthcare. No, Chris pays over $2,000 a month out of pocket for healthcare. Super sucks. Stability. I mean, you determine your own stability, just like you determine your own structure, in my opinion.
Trading full time is running a performance business, good by salary and bi-weekly paycheck. If you're chasing freedom, make sure you understand the weight that comes with it. Look at your savings, figure out your monthly burn rate, and calculate your runway. One of the most important things I did before starting work at Trillium was I built up a massive war chest from working overtime at my pool maintenance job. It was miserable, but it was worth every bit. It gave me the freedom to pursue the job as long as I needed. Step 2, build your knowledge and try to develop your trading skills as much as possible while you're still employed. Try to get as far ahead on the learning curve
Dude, I agree with that wholeheartedly, hands down for sure, right? Any opportunity you can get to study trading, study your strategy, work on it, hone it, refine it, you got to take it, right? Because this is the biggest income generating, um, generational wealth creation process that you could ever come up with being in the market.
Before taking the leap. Take your trading as seriously as possible. Block off the same time each week and treat it as if it was a second job. Make it fit into your schedule the best you can. Future you will thank you. Make the time, do the hard work, and take it seriously. This is the first test of whether you want it bad enough. This forces you to see just how highly you value the pursuit of this craft. Track
I agree with that actually, right? You'll make time for the things that are important to you. That's what I've heard people say, right? If something is important to you, it becomes a priority. And if trading doesn't become a priority, it's clearly not important to you.
monthly P&L, win rate, and risk metrics while trading. Focus on consistency, not home runs. Use this time to learn, find a community of traders, or even take reputable courses. I made a course that I call Magnum Opus, which is so good that it's used by multiple trading firms and hundreds of traders from early stages to 7 or even 8-figure per year P&L traders. The link to join Magnum Opus is in the description. If capital is limited, use simulated demo accounts or reduced risk trading to prove consistency.
Reduce risk trading, that's what I'm talking about. But to that point, if you're going to use paper trading or you're going to use reduced risk trading, I think, I mean, if you've already made the decision that you're going to leave your day job to be a trader, you probably aren't looking at reduced risk trading. You're looking at full size trading, right? You need to get the paper accounts first, figure out how that works, and then start trading with just one share. Because once you have any sort of money in the market, it changes everything. It changes everything. Or you can be an amazing paper trader and you put your first trade on and you can be a deer in the headlights. Um, but then again, right? I like to say this that year one, just focus on not blowing up your account. That's not what people want to hear, but it's the truth. Focus on not blowing up your account. Year two, try to get to break even. Just try to get to break even by year two. Year three, that's when you can say, maybe I'll eke out some profit this year. In year four, if you're still in the market by that point, you're greater than 99% of people who have ever tried to be in the market. And by year four, if you figured it out by then, you're going to be making real money. Mark, oh my gosh, it's great to see you, Mark. Man, look at this guy. Everybody say hi, Mark. It's great to see you, man. Let's keep going.
Consistency. Never ever risk more capital than needed. Most traders transition away from demo trading way too fast. And when you do start trading real capital, you need to allot yourself way less risk than most expect. Keeping losses in check and managing your risk in the early stages is so critical. And that's why I'm sharing my most important risk management lessons from 15 years of trading in my next video. So subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Step 3. Stress test your data. How much runway do you have? Calculate your monthly expenses, minimum required trading income, your average monthly P&L with worst case drawdown. Then stress test it. What if you don't make money for 3 to 6 months? What if you don't make a dime for the first year? Both of which I think are
Hold
very
on.
reasonable.
Go back. God, YouTube is a little bit glitchy right now. Okay. This is the reality of trading. You can literally do 0 in January, 250 loss in February, 0 in March, 0 in April, $500 loss in May, 0 in June, and July make $25,000. That is the reality of trading. Most people can't do that. Normal people cannot do that because they want to see that consistency. They've been told that every day I make $10,000. I'm the best day trader of all time. Unfortunately, that's not the truth. The truth is we don't get to pick when we get paid in the market. And it honestly can look like this. And then in month 7, you can make gangbusters money to make up for 7 months and some all at once. But this is not normal for normal people, which is why they can't do it.
6 months? What if you don't make a dime for the first year? Both of which I think are very reasonable, mind you. What is a reasonable amount to make in the first 24 months? Spoiler alert, for many, still $0. Most
Again, after 2 years, if your first 2 years of trading, just getting to break even is a huge accomplishment.
traders can genuinely expect to make no money in the first year or two. That was true for me even when I worked at a firm with all the resources they allotted. So save at least 24 months of living expenses, non-negotiable. Step 4, transition smart. Don't rip the cord. Ideally, go part-time before going full-time. Also, don't make any rash, fast decisions. Have you been passionate about this for at least a year or multiple years? Is your interest increasing? You want to make sure this isn't a passing fad, because once you get in the trenches, it doesn't get any easier. It gets only more frustrating and psychologically challenging. Step 5, develop real trader habits before you quit. Daily review, journaling, constant iteration, build emotional discipline because that paycheck safety net is gone. Know your trading playbook, what trades you take, what you pass, and how you size them.
And you can figure all that out by taking Outlier University. Did somebody say Outlier University? Hang on, where's the button?
Are you ready? Let's go!
Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
So at Outlier University, our job is to make you successful, right? I'm going to give you all the tools, tips, and tricks, everything that I've learned over 16 years of trading for absolutely free, zero cost, hands down whatsoever. The playlist is over on YouTube. Just go to our channels, go to the playlist. You'll see the Outlier University. We've completed the Alpha class. We're in the middle of Bravo class right now. And one of the things that we're trying to teach is learning and building your trading plan, how you can trade that fits in your lifestyle. So listen, 50% of you are going to listen one ear and out the other. It's not going to do anything in your life. 25% of you are going to listen and you're going to implement and you're going to screw things up and you're going to come back and you're going to say, Chris made me sell my SoFi shares. And then 25% of you are going to listen, create generational wealth. And then you're going to be like, you know what? I'm so grateful that Outlier put this out there for free. So definitely subscribe. Definitely go watch those videos. Let's keep going.
If you haven't watched my video on trading playbooks and why sleep is the most important factor in my performance, I highly recommend watching those next. Step 6, prepare for the psychology shift after you quit. Income isn't guaranteed anymore. It's earned through execution. Pressure to perform and external pressures can hurt performance if you're not ready for it. Trading is hard enough even when you don't.
There we go. He's incredibly right. Right. The pressure to perform is on. Right. If you don't execute correctly, you don't get paid, you don't get to eat. It's a very different thing than clocking in at your day job and then clocking out the end of the day. No, it is a performance-based job at this point. Now, that shouldn't scare you away because if you've taken the time to learn the game, all you're doing is basically like imagine that you just spent 16 years playing Mario and you're like, you know what? I think that I'm ready to go into the big leagues of the Mario Grand Championships. You're probably ready at that point, but you're not ready if you've been doing it for 16 weeks, 16 days, maybe even 16 months. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how long it's going to take for you to be successful in trading, but you don't jump and make trading your full-time career unless you've already proven that trading can support you in your full-time career. And you understand that the paychecks, we don't get to pick when those come. So you need to budget and plan for that over the course of the year.
Don't have a mortgage, a family, and a lender breathing down your back. The second those outside pressures start impacting your trading decisions, your psychology and ability to trade becomes toast. Step 7, don't be scared to make the jump if you aren't yet profitable. Most traders aren't profitable when they take the leap. Trying to find profitability while still working a different job is a tough task. I find trading is one of those jobs where once you are full-time and can be all in, you don't just learn and grow a little bit faster, you grow magnitudes faster. It's the same as that golf analogy. It's probably impossible to ever go pro if you only practice a few hours each week. The difference in progress between full-time pursuit and part-time hobby is incomparable. So don't think just because you aren't profitable now doesn't mean you won't find profitability. Nearly
Well, I let's not be misconstrued here. Don't take the leap until you are profitable. Don't take the leap until you have proven that you're profitable. I feel like he's getting around that, but I mean, you got to prove to yourself that you can do this. Otherwise, you can blow up 2 years within, the span of 2 weeks if you don't know what you're doing.
every trader I know pursued full-time trading before being profitable. I recognize
Wow, I actually disagree with that wholeheartedly. But you know what? It's his video, and that's okay. I can disagree with him, and he can disagree with me. No worries.
how scary this decision is. Every big leap in life is. One final point I'd make is this. Part of being a trader, and ultimately all of life, involves acting under uncertainty. You never will have the optimal answer. Like with trading, you need to embrace the unknown and make the best personal decision you can given the information you're able to gather. If you're looking for perfect information and no risk, well, this job probably isn't for you. Enjoyed this video? Like, subscribe, and drop
Yeah, that was a decent video. So listen, I want you to be successful. That's why we're putting out Outlier University. That's why we put out all these videos constantly, is because our goal is to make you successful. When you're successful, Outlier's cost of just 82 cents a day is a complete no-brainer. So listen, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning less risk, click one of these two videos, and we'll talk soon.